right, let's roll. Mic check. What up? What up? All Grind Sports Show, and we are already on episode 8. I go by the name of JC. I got 3 of my very, very special guests here with me today. The first time we've had this many people at once. Y'all just met my boy Gene, aka EJ Flex, last week. He back in the building. My big dog Dubre is back. I think it's been a couple weeks for him. And my dog Isaiah.
What's happening? Eminem is ass.
This guy saying that every show we do you have to have at least one Eminem rant or something?
Yeah. I'm gonna start like every introduction.
You ain't say nothing about Eminem is ass. You ain't said nothing about Kanye wilding on a Sunday morning though, but you let Eminem catch a straight.
Nope, don't have to. Nope, because the Kardashians are evil, so that's not Kanye's fault. Kanye is just a black man in America trying to make it.
Yep.
All right, we got a whole lot of real NFL and NBA and all kind of stuff to get into today. But we'll start off. Thank everybody who's been tuning in, all the viewership, the subscribe, the shares, the likes, all of that. Appreciate y'all for helping us take it to the furthest extent. Continue to support. You can go to any of our pages at All Grind Sports for Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube. Just hit All Grind Sports. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, all that good stuff. And with that being said, man, let's just jump right into it. I got Adam Schefter and Rappaport on they on standby with me because there's been so much going on just in the last few days alone. So it's like I don't know what the hell is gonna happen and what's still to come. But we could talk about the biggest one that probably shocked everybody on here, which is the Russell Wilson trade. He's heading to the Broncos, and I think
was it shocking?
Well, who was it on here that said it might have been Isaiah that said he wasn't getting traded at all.
That was me.
I'm not.
I was just watching that episode. So
that was me.
Or it was you. It was Gene. Okay, it was Gene that just said he wasn't getting traded at all. So yeah, I would say so. And I think even more shocking that he went to the Broncos because there was a lot of Rodgers talk for them, and I don't know. Everybody thought Russell was pretty much staying put because every year is kind of chirps of him saying what he has an issue with, but nothing really ever comes of it. And I'm pretty sure that he wasn't going to be traded unless he signed off on being traded, which I'm sure
he signed off on that last year. They just finally had time to figure it out this summer. But Denver wasn't going to pull the trigger until Rodgers signed.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised it was Denver. I was just surprised that Denver was the only one he wanted to go to.
What am I missing though? Like, why is the Broncos like this? We got to get over here. It seems like they need some help on their receiver core. So why are these?
I don't know. A lot of people think those kids are good. Basically, the Broncos are like, we've been a pretty 500 team with awful quarterback play.
Yeah,
give us a good quarterback and you
can agree.
Oh yeah.
As a Raider fan, we face them 2 times a year, swept their ass. But
man, how about that AFC West now, Dubre and Isaiah?
We should take
y'all got to deal with Herbert. You got to deal with Mahomes.
Not worried about Herbert.
Now you got to deal with.
I'm worried about Herbert.
I'm not worried about Herbert, bro.
I'm worried about all of them.
All I have to say is to the Chargers fans who are dick eating and shit, we knocked y'all's ass out. Like, I'm sorry. Fuck y'all. Like, y'all don't have a championship. Don't talk to me. When y'all make the playoffs and knock us out the playoffs or making it from the playoffs, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me. But let me stop playing.
Okay, well, since you want to let the Chargers catch a stray, you seen who else they just got, right?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn.
Isaiah, the video that you just said the rant against him was going to be replayed for the next decade as Herbert kicks their ass.
No, but seriously, I'll be serious for a moment. I said that the Chargers have them won with Herbert. They finally.
The Chargers should have already beaten us, and they didn't. That's all.
Yeah, they beat us once, but they didn't beat us when it mattered. Herbert was out there praying for a tie, and what the Raiders do is just win. So, like I said, McDaniels is going to have a hell of a job ahead of him if he's planning on riding with cars. Russell Wilson to the Broncos elevates them tremendously. They've had a good receiving core with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, they've always had a defense.
And Von Miller's coming back, right? Isn't Von coming back?
And Von Miller looks like he might be coming back.
They got rid of the tight end though, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares?
What's Gronk up to? What's Gronk doing?
Yeah, so like they have plenty of options. I mean, they still got the draft ahead of them. They can find somebody in the later rounds.
That'd be nice.
So the Broncos are looking pretty good right now. Chargers are looking pretty good. Raiders need to start making some moves.
I heard y'all might be trading Carr.
We should at this point. We should.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Watson is available. We'll get to that later on in the show, apparently. So,
Gene, real quick, while we're on the AFC West, so do you still stand on what you said last week of McDaniels bringing the Raiders to Super Bowl now that this is all played out?
I said during his tenure, yeah, I think he will.
Okay.
Okay.
So during his tenure could be 8 years from now, is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
If they sign him to a 5-year extension after this season, or not after this season, but after the next 3 seasons, yeah. I mean, I could see him taking them to the Super Bowl. I really could.
I mean, didn't they signed Gruden to like a 10-year deal? And the only reason he left, obviously, is because of like emails or whatever.
Yeah.
He was not going to get fired.
I think Davis is down to hire a guy for a long time, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
Well, so just how much of the needle does Khalil Mack move for the Chargers? How many wins y'all looking at for them out of the 7? It's 17 games again, right?
I just think they're improving anyways. That Mack's good, but I mean, like, he wasn't a difference maker pretty much since we got rid of him. So,
I don't agree with that one. He was a big time difference maker.
No. I didn't want to get him.
I got your back, Dubre. Mack has been declining ever since he left the Raiders. I do not want to hear that.
He's
can
been
miss
good,
me
though.
with that bullshit. He has been good.
But I think when we traded him, people thought he was going to be like transcendent, and I just think he's been solid. But has he really? What's he won? I mean, we've done better without him than he's done without us.
Hey, but did he have Joey Bosa on the front line with him?
He had a hell of a defense with the Bears. Are we dead ass? You said what? He had a hell of a defense with the Bears his first few years. My bad, Gene. My bad.
No.
So, like, I mean, he hasn't really won much since he went to the Bears, but at the same time, they had Mitchell Trubisky and y'all had Carr. Like, there's a big difference skill wise. But head coach also. Like that.
That sounds like it was financially smarter to commit to Carr than to Mack, which is what we did. We didn't want to pay Mack like he was all important. The same way the Cowboys don't want to pay Amari Cooper right now. They're like $20 million for 3 years.
He was out to catch a stray. You just couldn't help it, huh?
No, but it's a 2X Raiders. It's a salary cap league, man. And if guys are gonna want $20 million a year for positions that aren't quarterback,
if they wouldn't have gave that bum Zeke so damn much, who's at RB2 now, they wouldn't have to worry about that, now would they?
Of course not. But they already did that.
Dak Prescott
yeah, it's like they did that first. They can't. No one's trading for Zeke. Like, look what happened to your team, Gurley. Man,
Gurley we the champs, bro.
I know, but what happened? What happened in between your last Super Bowl? Like, you gave a lot of money to a running back, and look what happened. Like, you had to recover. You had to trade your entire future.
It was a rather easy transition. We drafted a great rookie, and we got Michelle for pack of hot dogs.
Like a good
Henderson is a good third string running back. I mean, I think we're fine back there, man.
I know. I'm not here, but you're fine because you traded your entire future.
Matt Stafford.
We had a pass happy
it was. Let's be honest.
We had a pass happy coach anyway. So
you think Goff wins the Super Bowl?
Hell no.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right.
I'm with Duvray.
All right. So they attacking your boy now. If Cooper is on your team, bro. So.
Oh yeah, I'm finna slander Cooper's ass.
Hey, I didn't attack Cooper at all. I just said it's a lot of money. I'm fine with what Cleveland did. They didn't have to pay a lot for him.
They definitely did.
Y'all for sure attacked him the last time I brought him up, like on the first episode. So.
I mean, because when he was with the Raiders.
We got way more for him than Dallas did. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Dallas gave him a first-round pick.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had drop problems when he was with the Raiders. And you could tell he did not want to play for the Raiders. So
he got outplayed by Crabtree across a whole season while
it wasn't even an option for him to come back, huh?
No, not really.
No, financially, no way. They had to make up money somewhere, and they're like Jerry knows. He's like, we can find cheap receivers. We always do. Like there's like they already have what's his name. Like they have their
Michael
big dog.
Gallup.
Yeah, well, no, that's a cheap one. Who's the good? The good?
Oh, CD.
Yeah, it's like we got Lamb, so it's like we invested money in other places. Like
Lamb be dropping Smith too, though. What y'all talking about?
Michael Gallup injury prone.
But the thing is, he's much cheaper than Amari Cooper, who wants $20 million a year.
This is all about money. It wasn't anything like, oh, we can they just had to do it because they had to make money somewhere because Dak got his contract, and like you said, they can't get off of Zeke's contract yet. As soon as they can get off Zeke's, it's on. I forget what year it's like that they can finally either cut him or I forget. NFL contracts are always unique, like when you can get off of it.
Jane, how you feeling about Cooper, bro?
I'm cool with it. I mean, we only give up a fifth.
You hear that they talking about trading or allowing Landry to seek like a new
so
or something like that?
Here's the thing with Landry. The problem is the Browns don't want his contract. He's been willing to restructure. The problem is he wants to add more years onto his contract. So instead of just restructuring this year, he would like an extension to go along with it, but the Browns don't want to do that. So that's where the big issue is right now. Like,
and I think he came out because like the trade clearly signifies like, hey, we're deciding to pay him the money that he we can get Amari Cooper and just give him 3 years contract basically because he's already on it, only for like a fifth rounder or whatever. It's just like we're gonna choose Cooper over Landry right now if that's how Landry's gonna be.
It's not even that though. Like it's more so trying to attract Deshaun Watson is one of the main reasons why they got Cooper. So either way, they were going to address the wide receiver room, and it's more so to basically get Watson. I mean, if you look at the competition between Carolina and New Orleans, like we really needed to address the wide receiver room, and we just didn't have anybody. So that was one of the big moves that is honestly like the first domino.
That's fair.
So you got I mean, who's really is Watson the only one really left as far as like the QB?
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah, he's the last huge one. Yeah.
I mean, who else is there? I mean, Carson got traded to the Commanders.
I guess it's more so the openings are more interesting than who's left because obviously Watson is who's left, and it's more so like what are the Steelers going to do with
and then what more perfect timing than his criminal charges being dropped to where that's not going to be something to worry about going forward. So
that's what they were all waiting on.
Everyone's just been waiting on like let's get past the criminal part and then we can handle because then after that it's like he's only going to get suspended for like some sort of moral clause.
4 to 6 games or something.
Yeah, that'd be the worst if it even comes to that. So it's like at that point you know what you're getting versus like before it was the uncertainty. Like I'm not trying to get a guy that's going to jail.
Absolutely.
I mean, like they said, the openings are more interesting than who's left now because it's really just Deshaun Watson. You got an opening with the Colts, with the Steelers, with the Browns. So there's plenty of openings for his services. It's just who will he waive his no trade clause for?
The weird half opening of the Niners, which is like the still weird Tom Brady rumors that persist. Like that's like the weird one.
They're still making those rumors.
It's weird, man. They're just saying like Tom might like come back later. He might do a Brett Favre thing because he's always wanted to play. There's just still the weird rumors about it. But that's two ways. Like obviously the Bucks, like what are they gonna?
I seen Rodgers going to the Niners before Brady. He said I was
late now.
Team growing up
now,
and it's like you can't beat him, join him. You know, do a KD move.
Right after KD drops 50, right to the slander.
we'll get to that. Did y'all hear about Fletcher Cox possibly being traded and Eagles moves for Watson potentially?
I heard they're out. The Eagles are out.
Watson?
Yeah.
Okay. So why are they trying to? Why y'all think they're trying to move Cox then?
Money. Yeah. Just
always
said
money.
It's a salary cap league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the NFL is always money.
So it all comes down to it.
It's hard. Hard cap's tough. NBA is easy. You can trade over. It's just like you can't sign a free agent. That's basically it. Everything else, it's like you can trade a little bit over the cap. Like you can always re-sign your guys. It's just getting the asset. In the NFL, it's like we can't just stockpile assets. We have to pay everybody. It's like how do we shape all this? Like, and then it's like when you pay guys, like we're gonna pay him next year. We're gonna pay this guy this year so that we can afford next year. All that kinds of stuff. It's always big picture.
Yeah.
How y'all feel about wins to Washington?
People
no effect.
They had to do something.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like, I mean,
they desperately needed a quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to be frisky right now.
But so did the Colts, right? So it's like I look at them as both great defenses that needed a quarterback.
But the Colts went through it already. Like the emotional things that happened even just within one season, they just needed to move on. The owner said so.
And Washington has more offensive weapons than the Colts, to be fair.
Yeah, after missing the playoffs by losing to the Jaguars,
I still don't know how that happened, bro. All you had to do was beat the Jaguars. You had everybody. Jaguars had nothing to lose or gain or nothing.
That's why
it would have benefited the Jaguars actually to lose that game.
Yeah.
And you still couldn't win the game.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So yeah, I mean, the Colts are either gonna draft somebody or they're gonna force their hand and try to get Watson. I mean,
they reported Minshew.
Or Buffalo, right?
Oh yeah, where's Minshew?
They reported Minshew.
Oh, okay. Hey, Minshew could do better.
Minshew magic.
If they do that, free my boy Taylor, man.
Minshew can get you 10 wins.
You don't even believe that.
Minshew can get you 10 on that team. But I mean, remember Carson Wentz just got him 9.
Yeah.
It
could go right for Minshew.
Yeah.
That's obviously not what you want. That's not what you want.
I'm looking more so at 7 or 8. I think he get you 7 or 8 wins.
I mean, that's more. That's why I said he could get you 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
You're
fair.
not gonna lose because of Minshew. How about that?
He's not gonna change it, right? Yeah. He's another stop. He's another stopgap because you haven't found the guy yet.
The thing about Washington versus the Colts though is the Colts don't have Scary Terry and Gibson.
Like I said, I was one of the weird people that liked it for both. I was like, the Colts definitely need to move on from Carson, but Washington makes sense for them to they had such bad quarterback
play. If you can't
get
super big guys, then get next best thing, I guess.
It's just let's see Ron Rivera with that team with a good quarterback for once. He's been there a couple years now. Okay, let's see. You see what your team really is if you just get a more competent quarterback, even if it's Carson Wentz. You can kind of be like, okay, we still know it's not Carson Wentz, but now we know what other holes.
But then, what if he gets hurt like he always does?
Yeah.
Or he has that year, maybe they're a great relationship, and it randomly comes back together. We've seen Carson be good, but I'm not buying it. But we all agree that he's better than what other else Washington was going to trot out there. No free agent was going there. Yeah. No free agent was going there. So it's Deshaun Watson wasn't going there.
This offseason has been crazy though. This reminds me of it's like an NBA type feel, like one of them super blockbuster summers or something. I don't see this often with the NFL like that.
I guess it's just because of the Wilson trade. You don't often see quarterbacks in their prime, especially Super Bowl winning ones. Get traded. The NFL is usually you just get franchise tag and just always restructure contracts, at least for quarterbacks, that are good, that good, Right. Oh yeah, we didn't even mention we're talking about the roulette, his cousins, Minnesota could be a new. There's all these weird teams. They could upgrade their quarterback, or they could just roll another year with it.
Yeah,
his cousin's gonna stay in Minnesota, or are they gonna randomly because that could be the surprise Deshaun Watson. All of a sudden we wake up and he's in purple.
I think Cousins gonna get traded.
That makes sense.
I can see.
Are they gonna fire that coach? I forget. Did they fire the coach? I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, he got fired.
Who'd they hire?
What was his...
Ooh, that's a good
question. I can't think of his name.
Because Minnesota is so irrelevant.
Well, I mean, they got pieces, though. I mean,
they got pieces, but they always have pieces, and it's just they don't never get it done.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, that's what they said about the Rams, and then look what happened.
I think they should definitely trade Cousins because number one, they don't have a good offensive line. Defense sucks. I just think they need to retool. I mean, you got good receivers, you got a good running back, but
You're right. You might as well get a good offensive line and just like cook run for a couple years until you find a quarterback worth spending on, because Cousins is already expensive. That's
exactly.
Don't the Bucks still need a quarterback too, right?
Yeah, they still need one.
But they might.
Well,
they
it's
might
trash
just,
season out there.
The Bucks might just have a shitty one just to hope that Tom comes back to them, because they still hold out hope. But the way Bruce has been talking, it does not sound like I don't think Tom's coming back, but if he does, it does seem like he's not doing it in Tampa Bay. Like it would be like a Niners thing, because Bruce said some weird shit like this week, like they've done some weird, like the GM is being all like, oh, Tom wants to come back. Oh yes, please. But Bruce has been more like, I think they kind of broke up.
That's Arians for you, man.
Yeah, I think they broke up. They had their 2 seasons and that was that.
Yeah.
Anything else I missed that y'all that kind of got y'all attention?
Let's see, Watson.
Where does
Possibility of Carr.
everyone want Watson to go? Like, where do you want him to go?
He coming to Cleveland, dog.
That's what you want?
Yes, sir.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't
makes
mind him
sense.
coming to the Raiders.
So, like people
to
that
the Raiders.
the fans want him to go to their teams, I guess.
I was cool with Miami, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I thought that would have been a great fit. I think the Browns are a great fit.
I would have liked him in Miami if Flores didn't leave.
Yeah.
But
that's the most realistic.
Now that Flores left, I'm just like, fuck Miami.
Yeah.
I see him possibly going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
That's what I don't
I keep hearing they're not even involved.
That's probably because Tomlin's like, man.
Go from I'm not even touch on that. I'm not gonna touch on that.
I think because Tomlin is the type of guy, he weathered a lot of off the court.
No, y'all didn't, bro. No, y'all didn't.
I just think Tomlin is a great guy, and Tomlin has put up with a lot of locker room stuff in Pittsburgh. And I think how about for his next quarterback that he ties himself to doesn't have rape allegations.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is not a funny matter.
Y'all are so wrong, bro.
But it's the truth. Like
Mike Tomlin is a class act guy. Put up with a lot. He needs a Drew Brees type for his next quarterback. Give him I don't mean just how he plays. I mean just one of those guys, positive good guy.
I think it's more realistic to end up with Jameis Winston or something.
That'd be
that's any better.
But Jameis is a harmless crab thief. No, he's probably a rapist.
He has some.
Yeah, he has some allegations too.
You're right. Right.
To a lesser extent, though.
They should just get some rookie. They need to get some rookie.
On that note about Jameis, I used to work at the Publix where he got the crab legs from.
That's deep.
Oh, word?
Damn. Oh yeah. And you already know it was one of those things where one of the I can hook you up, bro. I got you. And then once he starts walking out with him, boom, there you go. Yeah. The whole story had just changed. So I mean, I feel like Jameis, he was doing good before he got injured with the Saints.
Yeah.
So I mean, he even though he did throw 30 interceptions with 30 touchdowns, I mean, he can sling the football.
30 for 30. No one will ever touch that record.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will ever touch that record. But I feel like with the right situation, I feel like with Pittsburgh Steelers, he could do very well. I mean, the defense will keep him in games. All he has to do is really just not turn over the ball.
I don't want him to go there because I don't want him to deal with that bum Juju.
That's if Juju goes back.
Go somewhere with some real receivers, bro.
I mean, he didn't really have any real receivers with the Saints, man. I mean, I don't know. Juju may go back to the Steelers.
I'm thinking about I'm still thinking about Watson. My bad.
Oh.
I guess I mean I'm fine. I guess I'm gonna like the Steelers no matter what they do. I'm interested. I'm fine if they go with a rookie. What would Watson what team? I mean, it sucks that Sean Payton left because that kind of took the Saints off the table for anything interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just all depending on what Watson wants to do. I mean, he has a no trade clause, so whoever he wants to go to, he will waive that trade clause for them.
Well, I think Denver was on top of his list at first, and I didn't understand that at the time either. I was like, why you want to go to Denver? I don't know why Denver was this
We're telling you.
Hey,
the
man.
franchise teams is like
You
Denver.
sleeping on Denver. You sleeping on Denver.
Denver is not as bad as you think. Like,
yeah,
there's
like
been a bunch of
Denver.
there's been a bunch of versions of those teams, like what Denver is. Like the Colts have been that, the Niners have been that. All these teams, it's like that are all like rumored for the quarterbacks because it's like, hey, they've got a good line and everything else. They just don't have you.
The quarterback,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's like Denver is one of those that's gone now. So now it's like, obviously the Steelers became one with Roethlisberger finally getting out of the way. But now it's like the Colts are still the hot place. Mm-hmm. The Niners is like the weird one because it's like they're gonna hand the reins to like Lance or whatever, but like they're also down to like immediately get a great quarterback if they think they can win because they're feisty right now. They almost made the Super Bowl last year.
I think there's still a lot to come, not just this offseason, but even like before the trade deadline, like during the season. I think there's like a lot of these teams.
They never make big trades during the season in the NFL. I don't know. They always settle that shit in the summer. It's tough to make trades in the middle of the season in football. Well,
all right. Well, who's y'all? Bart, we don't know what Watson's doing yet, but who's y'all like super early NFC and AFC champion right now?
Man, we can't even get there. We got to reach free agency and then the draft. It's too early.
Chiefs and Packers. There you go.
Packers again? Damn.
I'm sorry.
They still got Rodgers and they still got
still believe in us, man. Let it go,
They still played pretty good. They were in the.
They played great every year.
Just fucking stop. No. Hold on. I'll handle this, bro. He has spent way too fucking much for this shit. I've done lost way too much money on this shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
I don't ever bet on the Packers. I'm fine. I'm
tired of it. I am sick and tired of it.
And I told you not to, and you still did it anyway.
I mean, I just picked him now was my point. Just being like, hey, you can just easily pick them.
He can't even beat the 49ers with bum-ass Jimmy G. And I'm supposed to believe in him.
You mean Super Bowl competitor Jimmy G?
Oh, no. You did not.
You mean I got carried by the defense and Deebo Samuel? Jimmy G.
49ers are good. That's why everyone wants to see what the 49ers do. Like, what if Tom Brady's playing for the 49ers come December?
Hey man, that's a pipe dream.
But doesn't Tampa Bay have to approve of him even leaving? I mean, because he's still under Tampa.
They have to waive him, right?
Yeah, but they say that like. Yeah, I mean,
he would have to have.
Well, I'm saying the way the GM has been slurping Tom, he'd be like, "Yo, you're gonna let me do this, or everyone's gonna know you as the guy who prevented Tom Brady from playing more football, like in his career." Do you want to be that guy in history? Because it's a very public life these days. If you want to be like, "Yeah, I wanted to come back, but Jim whatever in Tampa Bay said no," so like
I'm a little different.
That guy.
I'd hold his ass back. Yeah, I know. That's why I do it.
Manager's gonna be happy.
Like I said, he's probably not coming back. This is just people been saying there's weird rumors around him and the 49ers still. It's just what they say.
I think that covers that, right?
Sure.
Well, I'll just choke.
Who do y'all want? Do y'all want somebody in free agency? Anybody specific?
I have no desires.
Not really. I
think they want an A+ quarterback instead of a B+ quarterback.
Yeah, we've both been sort of like I've been emotionally distant with them, and I enjoyed this last year. But yeah, if Carr gets traded, then I'll start looking at the team a different way. But especially with Russell Wilson there now, it's like, damn.
All right, so question, like with y'all having all that competition in the AFC West now, like do y'all still want to run it with Carr, or do y'all think y'all should just rebuild?
I think that's a big reason why is like Carr's already getting paid well. Like I like him, but if he wants to take a big pay cut and do the Tom Brady thing, then I could be fine with it. But I'd rather just rebuild.
Y'all are literally what everybody has been like thinking the NFC West was like the last 2 years, bro. Like, and probably a little worse. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like,
but that's the thing we're saying that now. Tough, but we've seen these divisions. Like, what if Russell Wilson? He kind of wasn't that good last year. Like, what if randomly the Broncos still suck?
I mean, he didn't play much last year either. To be fair,
true.
I mean, because for us,
running.
For the Raiders, next year is the year where they'll have a shitload of cap space, things like that. So, I mean, if they wanted to tear it down, I mean, they very well could.
Or they could spend another year being like they were this year, like risky whatever team, and then rebuild next year, like you said, because all the contracts make sense. Like so I'm kind of fine either way. Whatever they do, I'm like, go Raiders.
Yeah,
I don't have any.
You sounded so sad when you said
that's fact. We know we're not winning a Super Bowl. Like
bro, we're realistic in a sense. Like
no, I feel it though. I wish Cowboys fans was like that.
It's like being a Kings fan right now, like in the NBA. Like, if you're a Sacramento Kings fan, what are you going to say? Like, I like Sabonis.
We're going to the finals.
Like, I'm glad that we're paying a lot of money to De'Aaron Fox to be under 500. It's awesome.
we can since you brought up the NBA, we can transition into something bittersweet. Your boy that you got right behind you.
More wins than anybody.
It's just, I know, but I know you guys are abysmal right now, but at least you got it right.
We're frisky. We beat the Jazz to break the record, man. We already have. That's like what we have 28 wins or whatever. Like abysmal is like you're only going to win 20 games this year. Like,
I can't even.
Okay, let me. All right, let me.
When they're right on the Lakers' ass.
It's abysmal. It's abysmal than what we're accustomed to for Pop.
But not what we expected. Not like they're kids.
You can't say that because most of those years that Pop was winning 50 plus games, people were like, they might barely,
No, they always had Tim Duncan.
They always had coming to them seasons saying, championship contender. They just start doing that every year, probably till like 2013. But every year he kept surprising everybody. Like, damn, he's still doing this with this same core. Duncan getting older, nobody getting older, and he's still doing it.
As a person who looked at the Vegas over-unders every year, I can tell you how much they were expected to win, and it was always a lot.
I don't know. So, I wasn't betting back then. I'm going off of media.
Well, the media and the Spurs don't mix, so you can't really take that. They were always like in the conversation when Duncan was there, but like no one expected like. Deshaun and Murray took a leap to All-Star, and they're still like, I bet their over-under was right around 30 wins, and they're gonna be over that. He's gonna slightly overachieve, winning like 35 games or something. Yeah. Which all I wanted. My plan for this season was for him to get that record and pass the job to Becky. Unfortunately, this season Becky got that job in Vegas in the WNBA, so no Becky for the Spurs. But I don't know what Pop's gonna do. I guess he could just stay longer. It's weird. I thought he would have retired, but his wife died a couple years ago. So it's like if you don't have like your wife to go home, I don't know. He might as well just coach till he like actually has health problems.
Doesn't he have like grandkids? Kids?
I'm sure he does. I don't know. I guess I don't even know.
Or he's like 70 something. What the hell?
But maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't have kids. I don't know. I thought
I don't know if he had kids or not.
Pop for sure got kids. He said his daughter was the one that snapped him out of that funk in 2013.
Okay. So then, retire. Go spend time with your grandkids.
He probably. He broke the record. That's the only reason. And it was like he couldn't like just bail when all the old guys did. Like, but now it's like he's seen DeJounte Murray through. He took that kid from like a rookie who averaged like 4 points a game to now like what he is. Like you've seen, like you've passed the torch. You've left the franchise in good hands. Like they are who they are. So it makes sense to just break the record and go.
All right, now for the fireworks. Is Pop the GOAT coach?
Oh no. But he's got the most wins. So
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Oh, I've never believed he was. He wouldn't tell you. He'd just say Tim Duncan, and he's right. Like he's been a great.
Well,
he's my favorite
celebration the other day. He was literally like pushing them off of him mad. Because they were like trying to celebrate him breaking the record, like
he went celebrate in private.
A different level of humility, like he does not care about that record like that.
But he did like celebrate in private with them, like he's just a personal like that. Pop is the greatest manager of a locker room to me, like more people stuff. Like the way he touches people's lives, it's pretty clear. Anyone that's ever played for him, like the way Rudy Gay hugged him, like who plays for the Jazz now, like just everyone he touches, like. He's my favorite in that, but X's and O's, hell no.
Yo, so what happened with Kawhi then?
They still have a good relationship. They still have it. They had a meal in LA when they were tricking.
You are dirty for that, bro.
When they were tricking JC's Lakers, remember they had a meal in Los Angeles before Kawhi went to the Clippers.
Yeah.
The Kawhi thing is obvious what happened. His uncle wanted way more money from Nike. They didn't think he was worth that, and so they said we're going to go to LA and we can make more money just from inherently being in LA.
So you don't believe he was hurt then?
They disagreed medically, sure, but I mean, Kawhi has a chronic thing. Look at him. He's like Kawhi has been tough to deal with in LA. They just were a franchise that was equipped to just deal with.
I wouldn't say that. I've seen him be more cooperative on the Clippers than I've ever seen him in his
because they asked tell Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, ask all those guys that played on that team. No, like
ask Clipper fans about Montrezl Harrell and see the response you get.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. George and Kawhi Leonard are getting a unique superstar treatment in Los Angeles because that's the way they think it should go. It did not work in San Antonio and wasn't gonna work. And just, I mean, that was clear from the beginning. They want to go back to LA. They were gonna make more money off the court if they moved, and they were right.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but he always wanted to go back to LA anyways, is what you're saying.
I think for sure, but it all changed when he got that Nike contract and they only offered him like $40 million. And they were like,
got you.
How can you say that though when he actually attempted to get Paul George traded to Toronto with him? Like that was a real thing. Toronto didn't budge because they didn't want to get rid of Siakam.
Yeah, he probably was doing the thing where you just put a pressure on an organization.
So like reverse psychology, he knows that.
No, just like, hey, like I'll stay here if you do whatever I say. And if Masai Ujiri's like, nah, I think I've done pretty good doing what I want to do. So no, Kawhi. And so he's like, all right, cool. Who will do whatever I want them to do? Cool. I can buy a mansion and be next to my family, and my uncle's happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did. He inherently got more endorsements just from being in LA.
Yeah.
Now, his problem, of course, is that he's boring and doesn't sell.
Yeah.
That's what's funny is like he could have sold in San Antonio if he had a different personality. Like Ja Morant would have worked in San Antonio, but Kawhi, the way he was, they had to blame something, and they were like, they definitely were going to make more money living in California, and they did. So good for them.
I mean, is it? But you keep talking this Nike stuff. Is he not with New Balance?
He was with Nike before, though.
Yeah, he did not like Nike's extension offer after he won Finals MVP and was like second in regular season MVP. He was like, "What the hell?"
Because he didn't deserve the MVP. What the hell are you talking about?
You sound like Nike.
like when his Nike contract thing was up, I think at the same time KD's Nike contract was coming close to an end, and Nike was really focusing on, let's get KD re-signed. And like Jeff said, they didn't really offer Kawhi much of a huge extension like they did KD. Like,
and not even just KD. There was the other one. Westbrook was getting paid this X amount, and that was small market. They'll be like, he's in Oklahoma City.
Westbrook was with Jordan.
But I'm just they were using his number in negotiations to be like, small market. Look how much he gets paid. We should get paid this. But like, no one could get it through to Kawhi and his uncle. Like, hey man, you're kind of boring. like you don't sell. Like we're not like we're a shoe company. We're not rewarding performance here. We are trying to sell shit, and you don't sell shit. Like
that makes sense.
If you were Kyrie, we don't care what market you're in. We're throwing a bunch of money at you. You sell.
Yeah.
And Kawhi still doesn't sell like a lot of shoes, but like I said, he gets a little bit more money just from being an LA.
I promise you, like, and I'm not a big Kawhi fan by any means, but I would really be like on a super hate train if we would have never got that championship in 2020, because I was so dirty how he did the Lakers.
I love it.
He knew damn well he wasn't coming to the Lakers, but he allowed all these free agents to sign elsewhere and go wherever they go. And then we had to pick up all the scraps because he knew he wasn't going to the Lakers, but he literally deliberately did it to sabotage us. But luckily we still.
Even as a Laker fan, bro, that's the Lakers' fault.
It was pop, JC.
It was it was 100%.
JC's right.
I was saying they should have signed D'Angelo Russell right away. Like I was like, man, don't wait on Kawhi because we don't know.
I wish you would have signed D'Angelo Russell.
And he wanted, and Russell wanted to come to the Lakers. He wanted to come back even after how he did it.
Yeah.
So you wanted Russell back?
It was
sure. With that team we had constricted.
I think you like the only one though.
I mean, it's easy to say now because we won a championship, but I was thinking of the future. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Still, no.
What was wrong with D'Angelo Russell? What am I missing?
He's a fucking bum.
He's not a bum. He's had injuries now. He at that time he was a perennial all-star, and he ended up making all-star game after that. He took a Brooklyn team that shouldn't have been in the playoffs to the playoffs.
Whoa. Did you just call D'Angelo Russell a perennial all-star?
What happened the next year, or like the next year or two after that? He was on a team that had no business going to the playoffs.
JC. LeBron is a perennial all-star. Kawhi is a perennial all-star. Those are This nigga made the all-star team once, and you start calling him a perennial all-star? I said
that the niggas started getting hurt. So that's, you know what I'm saying? This is way after the fact
that was just one of them. The Nets overachieved and had a good record, and they felt like rewarding one all-star. And he was the closer because he does have some of those Kyrie skills. But he was like, that team was well put together.
Now, Russell, okay, how do you think looking at his numbers?
They got all their talent now. They traded like a bunch of it for James Harden.
Looking at, it's funny you mentioned James Harden, because looking at D'Angelo Russell numbers at that time, they were on pace of like what James Harden was doing at that specific time.
No, what you just said is insanity. What you just the words that you just
said. At that specific time, if you look at James Harden's first 3 years and look at D'Angelo Russell.
Oh no! Now you just said look at. Hold on. You just changed. You just moved the goalposts.
I think that's what do you mean change the goalposts? That's exactly what I said in the first place. No, y'all were half listening. That's exactly what I said.
Now you just said James Harden's first 3 years. Well, it's like he was playing off the bench, like behind.
Yeah, he's a 6-man.
He was playing off the bench, getting the same amount of minutes D'Angelo Russell.
No, D'Angelo Russell was starting.
He was still getting 30 a game.
D'Angelo Russell was starting on a loser immediately. James Harden was coming off the bench for a winner.
And I think year 3, Russell was only averaging like 15 points a game.
What was James Harden averaging?
Coming off the bench, probably the same.
That's it. But I mean, y'all keep saying this bench thing. Like James Harden.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Russell was the guy with the ball in his hands. Like that was his team, and he was only doing bench.
Okay, and then what did he do the very next year?
D'Angelo,
like you said, he took a team that overachieved to the playoff. That was what set the infrastructure.
It was one of those. No, he didn't take a team. It was one of those teams that was good all around. Like he just happened to have the ball in his hands.
There's just no way.
And he had that. He had that ice in his veins.
There's just no way. There's just no way. There's just no fucking way you finna sit here and sell me D'Angelo Russell was on the same level as James Harden. James Harden was coming off the bench as the third option. D'Angelo Russell was first or second option. I'm not trying to hear that shit. The man is a fucking bum. No, hell no.
Hey, it was better. It was better than anything else we had in that damn backcourt at the time. So I don't care what you talking about. For what I thought D'Angelo Russell was going for it, I felt like even if LeBron was like, okay, I'm gonna retire, I was like, cool, we got D'Angelo Russell.
What has he done in Minnesota?
Who are both under 25 at the time.
What has he done? What has he done?
I just told you he been hurt. What you mean he hasn't even played?
He has been hurt. Yeah, he's been hurt.
They've been winning though. They've been winning this year. So
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
I think this year he's averaging.
But I mean, they got Edwards, and that's my boy. So I think he's more attributed to that. But yeah, he's been hurt, bro.
It's all three of them. It's all three. You know, Edwards is spirit though, because those guys are some sad sack. Like Cat just can't lead like spiritually.
That's the bum. You talking about a bum? That's the bum.
And Minnesota's been balling.
Like Edwards lifts like the confidence level of all these softies. All these dudes are soft.
Hold the fucking phone. Are you serious? Are you serious? So you would take D'Angelo Russell over Carl Anthony?
Bro, why? Who said anything about taking Russell over Carl Anthony? Who said anything about that? I said he's a bum and he ain't done nothing since he been in the league. He ain't done a damn thing.
Okay, then.
And people be trying to act like this dude's like damn near superstar.
Okay, then. You just proved my
He's a bum. He's a bum. That was my point.
You just proved my point. You just proved my point. You
continue, Dubre.
You just proved my point.
You may continue, sir.
You're the same nigga who believes Melo is better than Jokic. And you gonna sit up here and call Carl Anthony Towns a bum. But won't call Melo a bum.
Jokic is gonna win.
You know why I call Jokic a bum? Because of niggas like you who say he's arguably the best player in the league. That's why. And his argument is with Embiid.
Because he is.
His argument is with Embiid. He's not nowhere near the best player in the league. Stop it.
Nowhere near?
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
Is he top 10 at least in your rankings?
What the fuck? Are you serious? Are you serious? Come on.
You know what? I'm gonna be real.
Name me 5 other players who is doing what he's doing.
Gene, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
Name me 5.
I haven't done an actual 10 in a minute minute, like sat down and did a 10 probably this season yet, and he's probably moved up a little bit. So
JC,
I can't
name me
even give you an
5
exact
other
number,
players
but I know he's not nowhere near
what
number
he is
1.
doing.
He's not messing with Giannis. You're not messing with KD, and you're not messing with Kawhi when healthy. So that's 3 that's out right there for sure.
You said who?
He's not messing with Giannis. He's not messing with KD, and he's not messing with Kawhi when healthy. So that's 3 right there that he's not the best player in the league.
Nigga, you said when
right
healthy.
there.
Bro, stop. Fucking stop.
What am I missing? What is he? What he done? What am I missing?
You're missing 10 other players.
He have the numbers.
You need 10 players.
Bro.
He can have the cute numbers.
Bro.
The cute numbers. I like how it's cute numbers now. It's just cute. Like numbers.
Man, James Harden has like Will Chamberlain type numbers damn near every year. What does he do in the playoffs, bro? Like we don't care about that regular season.
Look what Jokic has done in the playoffs. Played better than Harden for like his entire 40 games.
Thank you.
He's already played 40 playoff games.
Win something.
He's overachieved every year in the playoffs. How many times has he played?
How is he overachieving when you got a player next to you averaging 40? How is that overachieving?
How many times?
No, stop. How many times has Jamal Murray averaged 40? What?
No, I'm just saying. No, don't say overachieve when you got somebody next to you averaging 40.
No, JC, here's real simple.
And now he's been carried by Jamal Murray. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. No, it's been one series. Every other series.
I said that's not overachieving.
That fucking team on his back. On his fucking back.
Hey,
JC,
JC, D'Angelo Russell has made more All-Star teams than all of Jokic's teammates combined. Zero. No one's made an All-Star team.
Now all of a sudden, Jamal Murray, the second coming of Kyrie Irving or some shit. No, he has one bubble series.
So the reason he gets that space,
begging for him back right now. I bet you that.
Well, the reason that he gets that
begging for him back,
he plays pick and roll with Jokic, which is like a cheat code and not really fair. It just breaks everyone. Like if you get to play pick and roll with Jokic, you're gonna look good. Yeah. Like you're gonna look good.
But again, like what did they win when they was together? You lost to a Portland
JC, name me another series that Jamal Murray went off in.
Game 7?
Name me another series that Jamal Murray went off in.
JC, your second best player. JC,
how many players average 40?
You can't.
I'm not saying he averaged 40. I didn't say he averaged 40 a series. I said he averaged 40
one series
with him.
He did it
so you
one
cannot
series.
say he overachieved.
He did it one time. And now all of a sudden he been dropping 30 every playoff series.
I gotta either or. JC, who's better, Anthony Davis or Jamal Murray?
Okay, what's your point?
Second best player.
Second best
player on the team. Second best player on the team. Who's better?
I'm not answering a silly question, Gene. I want him to make his point.
Who's better? Anthony Davis or Jamal Murray?
Hey, the player that lost is the worst player. Okay, now what's your point?
I'm just asking questions. Like you say, Denver they haven't overachieved and they should have won all this stuff with like their.
Why are you singling in on that when I mentioned Portland when they were all healthy? I mentioned Portland. You lost
to Damian Lillard and CJ Mcollum in 7 or whatever.
I know you're not about to overrate McCollum right now. I know that's not what you about
McCollum's
to do.
always played good in the playoffs.
That's not what you about
McCollum's
to do.
Always played good in the playoffs. Straight up. He's always played good in the playoffs.
I like McCollum, and I like what he's done with the
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
A bunch of glorified, great role players, bro. That's what he be having. The same thing you claim Jokic has, that's what Dame been going to the playoffs with his whole career.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
LA and all that.
Dame did get to play with Elise Aldridge, who made an All-Star team next to him. But yeah, Dame has.
Yeah, I'm saying, since they got rid of his whole starting 5, ever since then he's been having all role players every single year. CJ was even a bench player by the time that
like Jokic
starting with them.
I agree. But
should he have been though?
At the time, yeah, for sure.
I mean, because they didn't take off until he came into the starting lineup. Who was he behind again? You're talking about CJ, right?
Yeah, no, Portland was in the mix before that. You forgot.
They were no. But I'm saying, yes, they were in the mix, but they took another step up once they started CJ. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Kept them from going to the lottery. That's
who's better? Who's better? Wesley Matthews or CJ? Who's better? Wesley Matthews or CJ? Who's better, Wesley Matthews or CJ?
Hey, Wesley Matthews play defense, bro.
No, who's better? Who's better? Man, get out of here.
He said Wesley Matthews plays defense.
It's really about to be took, bro. You really trying?
Hey, they finally got rid of him for a reason, bro. He don't play a lick of defense. You get 25 points, but you give up 20.
Okay. Hold on. Did we not agree?
Get him out of here, bro. That's why they need
so,
traded too. They sent him to the Pelicans.
Let him finish.
Get that bum out of here.
Let him finish.
Go ahead.
So all of a sudden, defense matters. All of a sudden, defense matters, huh?
When did it not? When you evaluate, you said Wesley
Matthews or
CJ.
No. When does defense matter?
Defense matters, yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay. Now let me say this: we had all agreed. I'm sure we all agree on this podcast that we said Dame and CJ would not get it done as a championship team, right or wrong?
That's correct.
Okay. So Dame out there playing defense?
No, but Dame.
Okay. That's all I wanted to fucking hear.
Defense matters, right?
Hold on, though. I remember Dubre made a point to where it's like, yeah, you might have one player that's better at this thing, but he's that much better at everything else that, like, you saying you can't really use that disparity like that. Like, Dame is like a superstar. So you can't compare that, him not playing defense, to CJ not playing defense, because Dame does other things to supplement for that. Just like Steve Nash. He never played a lick of defense, but he did a bunch of other things to where it supplemented for that. That's Dame's case.
Hey, JC, I just had to pull something up because you were talking shit on CJ, and I was like, I feel like he always plays good in the playoffs. For his last 5-6 years, 46 playoff games, he's averaged 23 points a game in the playoffs. 23 points a game isn't a role player consistently.
Nope. And he probably had 23 scored on them in them same games.
I'm sure Lillard gave up 50 against him. So,
Dame ain't that damn bad. He's bad.
Listen.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Listen, the simple solution to this argument is to just admit that CJ McCollum is a good player. He's not a role player, and that Dame and CJ just weren't a good fit together.
Exactly.
They were never going to win a championship together.
You know who could really use CJ McCollum right now is LeBron James.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Brian, let's go to Brian, who had he had 250 pieces this week, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What's y'all do y'all, does that mean anything to y'all, or you just kind of
don't mean nothing.
No, hold on, let me handle this.
Good for him. Hey, I love his quest for Karl Malone.
Hold on, before you go, Isaiah. He also, I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, 2 assists away, which he's probably gonna do tonight from the first 30, 10, and 10. So
of course he is.
Say that. So go ahead,
He gonna consciously be looking for people so he can get those assists.
We are a play-in team right now. We know LeBron can do this. We've seen him do it his whole career. Great job.
But he's now, though. That I don't count for nothing.
Hey Isaiah, how are you enjoying LeGM? Huh? Y'all enjoying that side of LeBron?
Cleveland knows all too well.
I told niggas at the beginning of the season it wasn't gonna work. But I trust in LeBron. I trust in this bull fucking shit. AD asked talking about I'm gonna come back for the playoffs. What playoffs, my boy?
Right.
What playoffs, my boy?
No, for real though. AD took on this character playing next to LeBron like he's some 34-year-old vet. Like he won 1 ring, and AD's like, "Ooh, got to rest for the playoffs, my old knees." And it's like, what the hell happened to you? Like you were like LeBron needs the rest, not you. Like
right.
Because we were sitting up.
AD is supposed to be the one doing all of this, and LeBron taking the games off.
Yep.
That's what we envisioned. That AD was gonna.
Westbrook has way more miles on him than AD. Like way more.
Yeah,
we envisioned AD to be what Giannis is right now, and it's just insane that Giannis surpassed him.
They were saying Tim Duncan.
Giannis is missing a starting center this entire year. He's just like, well, I guess I'm center now. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
AD still won't play center with his soft ass.
Hey, you muted yourself.
Dubre. I do it on. I just try to do it on purpose sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Dubre, what about my boy Clarkson though? I know you seen that last night.
Clarkson found
Clarkson
found the perfect marriage. I've loved him in Utah ever since, But
Utah, but when I've been on since day one, and I had to hear
he was awful in Cleveland. He was awful.
He wasn't a good fit, man.
Slander in the chat almost every single day.
Hold on.
That was that guy.
Hold on. You sitting up here vouching for Jordan Clarkson, but had the nerve to slander CJ McCollum.
Man, if Jordan Clarkson could play defense,
look, bro.
There's just no way.
Look, bro, listen. It's levels to the spit, right?
No way.
It's levels to the spit, right? So I'm gonna judge players based on where y'all put them. So if you want to act like somebody is in a certain caliber, I'm gonna judge you on that caliber.
Who on this call said CJ was a superstar? Who said that? Who?
He called him a role player, and he's been averaging 20
playoffs. He's far from a role player. He's in that Chris Middleton.
No, that's overrating him. That is overrating for sure. You put him on Middleton's level? A champion, and he plays defense? Stop it.
And how many times?
You're talking about skill set.
Middleton
made an all-star game.
How many times has Middleton gone missing on offense?
By the way,
CJ made an all-star game is what I'm asking.
McCollum would have made an all-star game if he played in the East. Facts. Like he would have stolen a couple spots. He would have.
Who would he play over?
We're not going to go back in the years, but
if D'Angelo Russell made an all-star team, CJ McCollum.
D'Angelo Russell is better than CJ. D'Angelo Russell is better than CJ though. CJ wouldn't have did that with Brooklyn.
I'm about to hang up on
just trust me.
Because ain't no fucking way.
The Western Conference guards has been impossible for CJ's whole entire career. He could have made one. The way Middleton made one over there, like you could easily have made one over there.
You can make an argument that if you switch spots with CJ and Russell on that same Nets team, CJ makes an all-star game.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. Exactly.
What?
I mean, because if CJ is playing point like he has been with New Orleans and he's running the offense, like he is gonna make an all-star team on that same Nets team that Russell made one with.
Okay, well let's see what he does with the Pelicans. Then he shouldn't have no problem, right? You're gonna have.
He's been balling with the Pelicans. He's been balling with the Pelicans. They've been winning.
No problem now. Okay.
He's not.
Let's see this CJ guy y'all talking about.
He's the reason the Pelicans are winning.
Also, we've already seen him. He's
been balling.
What are they? 9, 10 seed? They was already that, or 11 seed, whatever they are.
Okay, they lost a lot of ground. They started off bad. Like
for his whole playoff career, he averages over 20 in the playoffs, like with wins. Like I've already seen it from CJ. He's already proven it. He has a career of over 20 points a game.
I want to see a full year with him in the Pelicans, and then I want to see you talk that same trash next year.
That's what I said. Let's see what he do with the Pelicans. Since you saying
he's about to bring them into.
The East is a lot stronger now, so this ain't. This isn't.
He's made the conference
finals.
Let's see this on a team that was a bad fit.
At this point, I hope the fucking Pelicans beat the Lakers in the play-in.
I see it happening.
Ingram's revenge, baby.
Because I'm gonna come right for your ass.
Let's talk about a real.
Are you want to change the subject?
I want to talk about a real basketball player like Kyrie Irving, who got 50 on 19 shots.
Hold on, real basketball player.
Let's talk about
Is he a real basketball? I think he's an activist first, and basketball is just one of his many artistic endeavors.
Yeah.
And if that's the case,
that's the way he'll describe it.
That he's able to do what he does, and for something that y'all claim he don't have a love for it like that.
Who is y'all?
I think he loves his art. I don't.
Yeah, who is y'all?
I think he loves his art. I don't think he loves James
You
Harden.
Sit this one out. He had the greatest shot in your team's history.
Why I gotta sit it out? I appreciate him. Hey, I was disappointed that we traded him, but I ain't mad at him, man. I love Kyrie.
Yeah, I always supported him getting out, like, because LeBron was already doing his bullshit, like posturing is like, I don't want to play some lame duck season with you. I'm going to figure out my life on my own. Fuck you.
He was already gone. LeBron was already gone. It was the worst kept secret. He was already headed to LA.
LeBron was always like at this arm's distance with like him from the start. Was always
exactly.
Like, he was always sunning him in weird ways.
Exactly. I appreciate
When
Kyrie.
he got there, the first thing he did say was, "I think Kyrie can be the best point guard in the league," and that's why I can't.
LeBron said a lot of shit.
That's the media shit. Like when Kyrie was actually talking about conversations with them, like you could hear him. He was always like, "Oh, the young fella's just learning. I got to show him the way." He was always doing that like he's beneath me thing. Like,
remember when Kyrie even had to check the reporter who tried to say like, "Yeah, LeBron has like a fatherly figure with you guys."
Yeah.
That was wild.
That's when he knew he was going.
Oh yeah.
But really, honestly, that was just a really good reporter question because the reporter saw the shit happen and was like, I don't think Kyrie would like it if and then like that was like, LeBron only fucking called him son more because of that. It's like, I'm really gonna son him now.
You remember the interview that LeBron had when the report came out that Kyrie wanted out, when he kept referring to him as the kid?
Exactly.
There you
He
go.
always did that. He knew it was a thing.
He always felt that way.
I didn't even catch that.
You didn't? He always.
I remember that, but I'm saying I didn't like even catch like the play like that LeBron was doing. Even like LeBron is very subtle with his disses. He's like the Jay-Z of basketball with that, with like the subliminal. You know what I'm saying? Like
their whole relationship was like that. Their whole relationship in Cleveland was like that. It was always this unsaid thing. Like LeBron came back, but it wasn't like he came back and treated him like Dwayne Wade. It was always that son.
He treated Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh as peers. He treated Kyrie as like his kid, like y'all said.
Yeah, let me show you the weight, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, so how about the Hornets giving up back-to-back 50-point games to two different players? You had Kyrie and then you had Tatum. And I'll give y'all another fun fact. I don't remember if it was the same week. Dubre, you probably remember this when Melo and LeBron both had 60 on the Hornets back at, I think what was like 2013 or 14, like back to back or something like that, or like the same week or something.
Was that the season?
That's crazy.
The Hornets like only won like.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was one of them terrible. I think they were the Hornets, but it was like a terrible year. Like,
Dang.
But yeah, fast forward and it's like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of that, like that they gave up back-to-back 50-point games like that. Like,
honestly, I didn't even notice it until you said it. Tatum's been giving people 50 for like every game since he's been.
Yeah, no, he's been that boy.
Ever since he had his birthday, bro, I don't know what they put in his birthday cake, but he has been balling.
Yeah.
Hey, we were talking about teams needing quarterbacks with the NFL. I think that there's like, as far as like contenders, if the Celtics can just get them like a great point guard, I think like them and the Clippers, like they can just get them like one of them elite guys that we talk about of point guards. Like I think they're out of here.
Why don't you give him AD?
I said point guard. What the hell he got to do with that?
I'm going the other way with it.
What the hell he got to do with that?
I'm going because everyone.
To be honest, I wouldn't even want that. I don't want AD going over there bothering Tatum. I like Tatum. I want Tatum to keep flourishing and doing his thing. I want somebody to get Tatum the ball, not take away shots.
That is a sad Laker fan right there. When you were like, "Oh, I don't want to mess up that young Celtics guy." I don't want him to get my starting power forward center champion. I don't want him to mess up that guy.
Man,
And like I even like this past offseason, I even said the same thing. I would love to see the point guard that they bring over there. And what did you say? You said, I don't give a damn.
Wait, say that again?
You remember when we were talking in the offseason, I was like, man, I'm really curious to see what point guard they end up getting over there in Boston, because I think whoever they get would be very intriguing. That would be an intriguing situation. And you was like, honestly, I don't give a damn. But now you care all of a sudden.
Because here's the thing.
Because the Lakers season fell apart, so now he's like rooting for Tatum.
No, it does. It does make you appreciate everybody else more. But look, here's the thing.
And I just see Tatum. Tatum's a Laker fan. Like Tatum's one of you.
Yeah,
like,
Tatum. Yeah, he LA breed all of that. Like he's Drake fan. Like he's the embodiment of.
He's one of you.
He just plays for a disgusting franchise. That's it. Like, I feel rooting for him. The reason I probably told you that was because I didn't see the Celtics like playing like this. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. I don't know. I just didn't see it. Even though I like Brown, I like Tatum, but I just felt like they kind of had a lot. I mean, they just got Horford back too. That he's been helping more than people realize. And then Robert Williams he's emerging and kind of having a breakout season. Like I just didn't see all of this gelling like that to where it would matter what point guard they had. Like,
well, to be fair, remember it didn't. Remember they were real bad the first.
Yeah, exactly. I was going off of that. Like, I didn't know
coach,
what direction they were going in or what they were doing. Like,
I thought they'd be somewhere in between the version of themselves that they are now and what they were earlier on. But it makes sense that the coaching it took them a while and they finally clicked, and now everyone knows their role and what they're supposed to do. And they made that trade. The Spurs.
Who's their coach again since Stevens went to president?
He's a Spurs tree, my friend. Right here. Right here. Ime Udoka.
Y'all are literally like all over the NBA right now. That is crazy. Utah, what you were in Philly,
Charlotte. It's everywhere, dude. It's about
Milwaukee,
third of the league now.
Like,
it's like a third of the league.
Don't that say a lot about Pop though? Like, how can he not be viewed as the greatest coach in NBA history with everything that he's done?
If you can prove you got Pop's phone number, you got a chance to get a job.
Exactly. Like, you don't really, I don't ever remember hearing a conversation in regards to, his assistant coaches having as much success as they had with Phil Jackson, who a lot of people think is the greatest coach of all time. Listen, I understand. I understand. I understand, but I'm just saying, like, have you ever talked about any assistants that had this type of success under Phil?
What Gene just said is the exact reason why Phil even came back to New York, because he was jealous, because him and Popovich had a rivalry, and it went off the court, and he was jealous of Pop's tree, like Mike Brown and all this stuff, and he wanted to keep the triangle. He was like, look how much success has had. How come people aren't doing what I did? I took Tex Winter, and that's why he tried to get Kurt Rambis. He tried to make Kurt Rambis happen. To this day, he is trying to make the Rambis family happen. Like, now Jeannie Buss is.
But haven't you even admitted that some of Pop's philosophies as far as what his system is offensively, kind of some of it derives from the triangle?
Well, like, everyone takes, like, there's some motion off it, like, kind of, but not a ton. No one really does triangle stuff now, but there's elements of it, sure. But I mean, my thing with Pop is it's not X's and O's. Like, all those guys we just talked about in the league, because that's like the Pop tree isn't about the triangle. Phil Jackson, all he cared about was the triangle. How he did Sage and all that other like psychology stuff, that's his own philosophy, his own stuff like that. Pop's whole thing is the philosophy
don't come for the man's religion, dude. Right?
I'm saying that's what Pop's is. Like, the Pop tree has nothing to do with basketball. It has to do with relationships and how you build a team, how you conduct business. Now, if you want to be a team that shoots a bunch of threes, or you want to be a team that doesn't, that's flexible. He's flexible with X's and O's. That's why him and Phil are so different, is because Pop's tree is all about relationships and how you run a coaching staff. Phil was just about, this is the triangle. Tex Winter made this thing up, and this is the key to basketball, and I know how to unlock it in great players. Like, it's a different thing. That's why Pop is like, that's why I don't call him the best coach of all time, just because X's and O's, I think he's solid and he's made a lot of adjustments. And obviously he's won more games than anyone, but it's more about the not basketball stuff is what he's so good at. Not basketball.
So who do you have as the GOAT coach?
Phil has got the resume. I mean, he won the most games in the shortest amount of time. Like, he has the best win percentage. Granted, he had great players, but like, a lot of those great players didn't have success without him. Kobe and
that's also
MJ
true.
didn't win without him. Even Shaq and Kobe were together with a great coach, and they won.
Shaq only got one with him.
And he did that with Pat Riley, who's also
right.
Like, I mean, for me, I give it to Phil, like, just as like you got to give to somebody. But it's a perfect Mount Rushmore. Like, other things, it's like you don't want to narrow it down to four sometimes. The coaches is perfect. It literally is just Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Red Auerbach, and Pop to me. Like, there's the other guys that are in the next conversation, but it's those four guys. Those are the four guys that won, like, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 championships. Like, those are those guys.
I got Pop, man. I got Pop as a GOAT.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with any one of them.
Hey, Dubre, I'm shocked to hear you say this, but it's such a beautiful moment to hear you give Phil his flowers. And, like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever agreed with you more on any take you've ever had since I've known you in these last 6 years, my guy. Like,
what? That Phil is good?
That was a beautiful
Phil Jackson
speech,
is good. Brother. That's all it took.
Especially right after your boy breaks the record. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I was giving you the floor to, give him that, but,
I feel like you should be in timeout right now, Dubre.
No, I mean,
no, for real. There's probably Spurs fans on want your neck right now.
My argument was basically in the extreme that Pop is the GOAT of, like, the actual job,
Player
like the day-to-day
relationships.
relationships, which is more important than X's and O's to me. Larry Brown was great at X's and O's. He was a shitty person to everyone except Allen Iverson.
No, you know what it is? I think Dubray thinks he's slick. I think he's doing that because he probably got Duncan overrated on his top 10 somewhere, and that's probably where it's going to come in at. So we can't use Popovich when we have that argument one day. You're not slick, bro.
Correctly rated. How many has Pop won without him? Pop hasn't done too much without him, so there you go.
Vice versa.
This is true. This is true.
Well, Duncan didn't have that chance because he kept Pop employed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's also true. That is also true. All right, last but not least. So the lockout is officially over, as far as I know. I wanted to bring up something.
What do you mean? I'm super
like y'all's face, y'all reactions. Yeah, hey, I have to screenshot that.
You just told us a family member died.
So
who cares, JC? Baseball, good job. They only missed 2 series. They worked it out. What happened? You tell me, JC. How'd they work it out?
So, what I was asking to ask you about, because this is something that you brought to our attention. Were you referring to the Rule 5 draft when you were talking about them burying players?
Yeah,
and wasting. That's what you were referring to.
Yeah,
like that was one of the things that they changed, and they said, that was one of the things they changed to where they're not able to do that anymore. They have to like make a stance on that.
Yeah, that there was really no argument on, like, as soon as it got brought up and it was an issue, it's like that's a concession you're gonna have to give up for sure. So good on the players for getting that, I guess. I didn't look at the details, to be honest. I don't know what else they got.
Yeah, I don't know most of the details, but I did hear that the Rule of 5 draft thing is now.
Oh
yeah, I forgot they took away the shift and all that. That's right.
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah, UNB was Jim. UNB was just talking about the shift last week, and you were just talking about how they need. Well, you said they need to narrow it down.
Yeah.
So they got rid of it.
Hold on. What did you mean narrow it down? Like, what did you want them to do?
Like 3 and 9 innings, or
No.
You can elaborate. Go ahead.
I felt like they should have made it more strategic to where you could only use the shift 3 times within a 9-inning game. Instead of completely eliminating it, you could still have it there, but just to where
it's selective, like timeouts.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because I feel like, baseball is all about, well, any sport really is all about adjustments, and players need to adjust. So I didn't feel like they should ban it completely next season. But hey, it's going to be gone next season, so
hopefully they come back to it. Hopefully they come back to it in the future. Depending on, how things. I think the problem is like they sorely needed more offense in the game, so they had to do something extreme like that.
Well, I guess because they're mad because basically it's turned into guys just swinging for the fences. It's like they've mathed out baseball to where it's just like everyone's just swinging for home runs, and like the shift is something that helps batters more, I guess, instead like to not just be swinging for home runs. Like I think it's not going to change. Isn't like the math just kind of supporting that type of baseball player? Like I don't know.
There was a study, if I can find it, it was on The Athletic, but they basically ran the numbers to see, how hitters did with the shift and without it. And honestly, it affected left-handers more than it affected right-handers.
Interesting. All right, then. Like I said, I hadn't heard the thing you said, the getting like 3 or whatever. I like that idea. I hope they do come back. I'm not like, I wasn't too into it, but I was like weird when I heard they took it away. I was like, damn. So like defenses figured out a way to play defense and they immediately Interesting, all right, cool.
But
the universal thing. So that's good. That'll help with offense. You don't have pitchers out there unless they're Shohei Ohtani trying to hit the baseball, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to have baseball back, but let me get to my main point. Fuck Rob Manfred. He's a fucking shit. He sits up there and lies in interviews all day fucking long, just for bullshit reasons. But hey, like Jeff said, his job is to look out for the owners and shit. So, hey,
it's a bad relationship right now. That's for sure. I don't know how it gets better because they're gonna have to talk again.
The only way for it to get better is to fire Rob Manfred.
But that's But he's exact. But I mean, like the owners, I don't know. They just don't seem like they're on like close to the same page the way that the other two leagues are. Even the other two leagues are still arguing about a lot, and they're about to argue more. Baseball just seemed like they were almost shocked by each other. Like, huh? Like,
I actually remember hearing a rumor about the MLB owners wanting to go after Adam Silver. And this was last year. I believe it was either last year or the year before, but they actually wanted to go after Adam Silver.
Why would they want that though? Adam Silver is like a players type owner. Like,
I mean, maybe it's just a PR thing.
Yeah,
maybe that's what they want. I mean, that is weird. It seems like I bet half the owners want Manfred. I bet that's where they're at. They're like half the owners like, we need to move forward and do like a Silver type, go through years like this, try to get younger fans back. I bet that's what it is, because Adam Silver's smart with the internet getting younger fans.
Yeah,
like that's
marketing. He's
smart, man.
Baseball he's done a really he's done a good job. Adam Silver's done a pretty good job.
So opening day is scheduled for Thursday, April 7th. From what I'm seeing, obviously they had to postpone everything as far as offseason trades. Teams haven't even been meeting up with the staff or anything. So is there any offseason moves, I guess, in this next month or so you guys are looking forward to?
I want my team to spend some money. Shit. Cheap asses.
Yeah. I don't see the what's their name now? The
Cleveland Guardians.
Wait, is this the first year?
You guys have to change your name too?
Yeah.
Wait, is this the first year?
This was from the George Floyd thing?
This the first year with their name as the Guardians.
Oh wow.
But no, it's because Guardians have a notoriously cheap owner. I'm hoping the best for you, buddy, but I just
Isaiah, we good to go, right?
Yeah. My Dodgers will break the bank. They're trying to get Freeman. They're trying to get Soler. Hey, Jeff. But we got Kershaw back, so that was a good thing. I want him to retire in blue. I mean, he's not what he once was, but I do want him to retire in blue. There's going to be a lot of moves made here in the next coming weeks, man, because the banks are open now. So, hey.
Dodgers, y'all gonna get hit because they upped that money. The tax threshold? It's gonna be a bigger penalty for teams that go over that salary limit. So
that sounds great.
Who cares?
I'm just saying, man.
Who cares? They will pay for winning. They will pay that tax threshold. They lead the league attendance every year. They're always top 5 in merchandise sold. So.
Hey, they've been selling a lot of shit for a lot of years and losing, so
it ain't gonna last forever.
Jeff, go on somewhere, man. Go.
Hey, I'm actually a baseball agnostic right now. I unfortunately grew up an Astros fan. And
hell no.
Then I hated Roger
cheater, punk and neater.
And I hated Roger Clemens. So and now it's like I don't even.
You admitted that on camera.
Oh yeah.
So no, I said I'm an agnostic. I said I'm an agnostic because I grew up. I bailed on the Astros during the Clemens years. I hated Roger Clemens and the whole deal they had with them. So like when they won, I was already like off, and I was happy when it came out. I was like, of course I gave up on them, and then they won a World Series, and I was like. Yes, I was right in the long run.
Made the right
but I was rooting for Cleveland when they made it. I just usually root for an underdog, obviously. I don't know. I have to root for someone who's bad that's never won, like the Rockies. Rockies ain't never won, right? I'll be a Rockies fan.
Start from the bottom.
Yeah. They got legal weed in Colorado. I'll root for the Rockies. Also, they have an inherent disadvantage because like the altitude. Like no pitcher should ever want to be pitching in Colorado because you can hit it farther. So yeah, I'm a Rockies fan now. It happened right here on this podcast.
Okay.
Damn, not easy.
I respect that. I'm a front runner.
Yeah, so right. 12 months from now, we're gonna come back. He's gonna be a Dodgers fan or something. Watch.
Never be a Dodgers fan. No way. I mean, they're not as bad as like the Yankees, but or the Red Sox even. Like. If you spend the most money, I'm probably not into you. Just you sound like the Lakers or the Cowboys.
You like them low profile, small market like San Antonio. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I like a big market here or there, but yeah, why I always root for the little man for sure. I mean, the Raiders were a version of Little Man, but they played in a good market for a little bit. They played in Los Angeles.
What about the Rangers?
The Texas Rangers?
Yeah.
Fuck Texas. San Antonio is an island. San Antonio is an island in Texas that has nothing to do with anything else.
All right, well, we'll put a button on it there.
Hey, predictions again. Watson, who y'all predict you go to?
Predictions.
I
guess I'm gonna randomly say Chicago. I got no reason.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Even though I don't want it to happen, I don't know. I just been hearing this name too much. I'm thinking the Steelers.
Yeah.
No way. Really? Wow.
It's a toss up between Steelers and Colts for me. I just don't know.
Don't give him no cop out. Make him pick, nigga.
Okay, I'll pick the Steelers. I'll pick the Steelers.
Dubray?
Well, I said the Bears, but then I remember you said he has a no trade clause. Well, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you said nobody wants to go to Chicago.
Why would you? I just thought Chicago would go for it. But they just drafted Fields. It makes no sense. That was dumb. Definitely not Chicago.
Oh, yeah, and they got Fields. Yeah,
I forgot about Fields. Yeah, I was already no trade clause. I mean, God, I really thought it was going to be Denver. I guess I'll go with the Colts. The Colts, they moved on, so they got to do something. They're good now.
They need some receivers, man. Hilton is old. They need to get some weapons. Taylor, I mean, unless they just going to do what the Titans do and just run Taylor into the ground. But, I mean, come on, man.
Once you get the quarterback, then you get a receiver.
A guy back there. Hey, we're going to get you soon, big dog. You came on here talking big tough last time. All right, man. Thank all my brothers for pulling up, man. I appreciate y'all spending your lovely Sunday afternoon with us. To everybody that's tuning in, man, thank y'all. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's take this to the furthest extent. You can find us at All Grind Sports on pretty much all platforms, on Google, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just look us up. You can email us at allgrindsports@gmail.com and to comment on the show, what you think we can do better going forward. And that's pretty much it, man. So thank y'all for tuning in. Peace. See y'all later. Thank you, my brothers.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Them still sucks.
Popovich is the guy.